Welcome back in. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has added a new class, I should say, of inductees, including a few names that had a lot of people asking, what took so long? Joining us now with perspective is longtime DJ Tony Kurre from the Kurre and Claypo Show. Good to have you with us this morning.
Great to be here, Michael.
First, I want to start with this. For folks who don't know, while it started as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there in Cleveland, it expanded, though, to other genres. We should point that out.
Yeah, I mean, they came with the idea back in 1982. I hadn't even laid a brick yet. And obviously, it's more than Dolly Parton got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's not about rock and roll. It's about, you can't call it the Music Hall of Fame. It has to have some pizzazz to it, right? It has to have some
sure.
what it is to it, which you talked about last Thursday. It has to have that to it. And so, yeah, there's a lot of country music artists that perhaps are on the outside waiting to get in, but the big likes of Dolly Parton, Hank Williams Jr., probably not even Hank Williams is. So there's a lot of different country music artists. Yeah. And now what I think we're seeing is a lot of those bands that are like the soft 70 bands, those yacht rock bands, like I could say Phil Collins, although his career went all the way through and it still continues to go through. But some of those other bands, like Bryan Adams, Turner Overdrive, Boston's not in.
Oh, wow.
Some other bands. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty good.
For those who got in, though, tell us which ones stood out to you.
Bad Company obviously was the one band that everyone thought should have gotten in for a long time. They hadn't even been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame until a couple of years ago. And of course, the first year they had their opportunity was 1999. So they've been snubbed for a long time. Paul Rodgers is indisputably one of the greatest rock and roll voices on the face of the earth. He should be in as a solo artist because, of course, he did the
More with one band.
He did Free. I mean, he's been all over the place. And then, of course, you got Brian Howe, who came in and took over halfway through with the Bad Company situation, which I think helped them in one way in that they sold more records with Brian they did with Paul, but actually hurt them because it was splintered in half. So I think that had to do with Joe Cocker, no doubt, slam dunk. Cyndi Lauper, I think a lot of people would think that she should not get in. I think she's a slam dunk. I think what she did for women in rock and roll is unbelievable. Girls Just Want to Have Fun was not her biggest hit.
Not to mention fashion styles during her
era. Man, she just took the world by
Outkast, to me, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
I would agree with you. Oasis, a lot of fan favorites thought Oasis should get in. They did not get in. The White Stripes, one of those holy religious Christian rock bands, a lot of people thought maybe would has somewhat broken the glass there for a lot of bands in the Christian genre to get in, which I think is really, really good.
But you know, anytime you have some new inductees, there's some who didn't make it, and there's always going to be controversy. Of those who didn't make it, what do you see as the biggest controversy?
You know, Mariah Carey obviously was the one that I think everyone thought she'll get in. She'll get in. I just, the Beatles didn't get in on their first year, okay? They got in their third year, okay? So, I mean, that should tell you something. We have plenty of time, but yeah, there's lots of rock and rollers that haven't gotten in. It's not like Major League Baseball where you have a vote and you stay in every single year. They can forget about you for 3 or 4 years. If you raise enough ruckus, I think you're probably going to get in. But there's a lot of bands, and I mentioned No Doubt, America, Bryan Adams, BTO, Boston, Phil Collins, Crosby, Stills, and Nash & Young are not in. The Guess Who, Sammy Hagar, Jethro Tull. There's a lot of great classic rock bands that are not in.
And the criteria is what?
25 years ago, your first album must come out. Man, that was 2000, Mike.
So it doesn't matter how many albums you sold?
It has nothing to do with anything. And, of course, the fans get their vote as well. But 2000, if your first album came out in 2000, you're now eligible for the Hall of Fame. That's crazy.
Is the largest percentage of the vote with Billboard?
Rolling Stone? A lot of it, it's about 1,500 different writers. And so it is a lot of it. There's a lot of politicking that go on, obviously, with a lot of those things, much like it probably was with Canton or Cooperstown.
All right, well, the bottom line is, if you're ever in Cleveland, I mean, check it out.
It's fantastic. Check it out.
It is. You want to see
unbelievable.
All right, Tony Kurre, we do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.